The firewall is one of the essential elements of your business's network. But have you ever stopped to wonder why it's so crucial in the first place? Hi, I'm Jameson Mott, a computer technician at Intelligent Technical Solutions. That means when there's a computer problem, it's my responsibility to fix it. In this video, we'll go over: what is a firewall? How does a firewall work? Why is it so crucial for your business? What do you need to consider when buying a firewall? How do firewalls fail, and how do you prevent that? Which firewall should your business get? What is a firewall? A firewall is a set of rules that allows or prevents traffic from coming or going. Think of it as a gatekeeper. It's your first line of defense, protecting you from bad stuff on the outside world of the internet. It dictates what can come in and go out of your network. How does a firewall work? A firewall examines traffic as it comes or goes and compares this to known rules to look for items that it recognizes and should allow, that it recognizes and it should deny, or if it doesn't recognize it, just to be safe, it will implicitly deny all else. Most are familiar with the software firewall that is installed on your computer. It protects your device when you browse the internet. However, there is another kind, a hardware firewall. If a software firewall protects a specific device while it goes on the network, a hardware firewall protects the entire network. So now we understand what a firewall does, but why is it so crucial for your business? First, your firewall makes sure that the traffic is safe and secure. It generally provides malware and virus protection as a first line of defense. It will look for bad websites, bad traffic, and prevent your employees and their devices from knowingly or unknowingly accessing such. Second, your firewall provides you with VPN for your employees to access your business networks remotely. If you have a remote team, they can connect into your computers and networks there in the office, accessing servers and applications as though they were within the office themselves. Lastly, with the Firewall VPN, even if your employees use public Wi-Fi at a coffee shop or airport or someplace else that isn't secure, their traffic is encrypted. This allows them to, with encryption and security, access that data without it being visible to the outside world. A more advanced firewall will also allow you, as the business owner, to configure and manage traffic using categories and rules to look for unintentional or intentional wastes of work resources, such as video streaming, video gaming, or inappropriate websites. On top of your hardware firewall, it's essential that you have a software firewall and antivirus as well. The firewall will monitor the network traffic, while an antivirus software will monitor the actual activity of a computer's processes and prevent any malware from taking hold. What do you need to consider when buying a firewall? There are 5 things that you should consider when you're buying a firewall. The first is the size of your network. The second is the speed of your internet connection. The third is the potential number of VPN connections. The fourth is the general traffic flow. The fifth is your line of business applications. The first is the size of your network. How many employees do you have? How much traffic do you generate? What's the type of traffic? If you have a smaller business, such as 10 or fewer employees, you can go for a more budget option. But if you have a medium or larger enterprise, such as 11 to 25, 25 to 100, or more than that, you should be looking at managed, professional hardware firewalls. The second is the speed of your internet connection. This is the upload and download speed as provided by your internet service provider. It's essential that you know what those numbers are so that you can get the firewall that's right for you. The third is the potential number of VPN connections, whether that's site-to-site or SSL VPN, where employees individually connect to your network. If you don't have a remote team, or you're only expecting 1 or 2 employees to connect to your remote firewall, you may be able to have a smaller, more budget option. But if you do have a remote team, or you need to establish dedicated point-to-point or site-to-site connections, you should be looking for a professional managed firewall. The fourth is the general traffic flow. What kind of traffic do you generate? What hours of the day do you generate that traffic? Do you have off-site backups that need to run overnight? Do you need to manage something that prevents that traffic from overloading your daily network traffic? It's important that you understand what your traffic flow is, so that you can configure your firewall and help modify those rules in a way that gets the most out of your internet connection. The fifth is your line of business applications. Do you have specific software that runs in specific ways or connects to specific networks and must be configured as such? If you have specialized line of business software or something that has been set up specifically for you, it's crucial that you check with the vendor, the manufacturer, or the developer to see what their recommendations are and how you should configure your firewall. On top of these 5, you should also consider if your firewall will be managed or unmanaged. A firewall is not something that you plug it in and forget about it. It needs to be monitored and managed. We recommend that you have it managed to make the most out of your firewall and ensure its longevity. However, if you choose to have your firewall be unmanaged, it's crucial that you choose something that is easy to set up and can be automatically updated so that you don't miss out on features and firmware updates that are crucial to security. How do firewalls fail, and how do you prevent that? There are 3 significant reasons why firewalls fail: age, storage, and management. The first one is age. Even the best pieces of technology aren't meant to last forever. If you've had a firewall for a few years but don't know how long that is, it's pretty important that you check the manufacturer's recommendation for its predicted life cycle. The second is storage. It must be kept someplace that's free from temperature fluctuation and dust, or it can cut the life of it in half. It also must be kept someplace that's physically secure. You wouldn't want somebody that you don't know getting physical access to your device. But it's also important that this is safe from objects falling on it, or from it falling itself. The third reason is management. If somebody is constantly executing an attack against your network, that can significantly shorten the life cycle of your hardware. If you're trying to run more traffic through it than it's rated for, that will also significantly impact the life cycle. Sometimes businesses scale up their internet speeds and forget about the hardware. They don't go in and adjust anything that needs to be adjusted to accommodate that extra speed. That can also shorten the life cycle of your hardware. Which firewall should your business get? The brand of firewall that we recommend is SonicWall, and there's 2 main models that we recommend: the TZ350 and the TZ400. The TZ350 suits businesses that are 11 to 25 employees in size. This is a more budget option. We've found that this model, the TZ350, really does hit that sweet spot between the cost of management and hardware. Typically, the cost of a firewall's hardware is not the most expensive part, but rather the management. Management is most often the most expensive part of a firewall because the manufacturing of the hardware itself is relatively easy and cheap. But the management, development, and intellectual property rights of the software and firmware that runs the device is far more difficult and therefore more expensive. The TZ400 suits businesses that are a little larger in size, 25 to 50 employees, with more VPN connections, higher bandwidth, and a larger network in general. Other higher-end models are also available from SonicWall to meet businesses that are larger and have more extensive network needs. You can also take another route and lease a firewall for your business through hardware as a service. This is where a company such as ITS, a managed service provider, provides both the hardware and the management of the firmware for your firewall. This is a cost-effective option. It allows you to upgrade and replace the hardware as necessary. It also covers the cost of licenses and management, and it provides a single point of contact for all of your firewall needs. If you already own a firewall and you choose to have somebody else manage it, you may purchase software as a service. This is where somebody else manages, provides the licensing, firmware updates, and software updates for the hardware that you own. In summary, a firewall is a set of rules that allows or prevents network traffic from coming or going. It acts as a barrier between your network and the public internet. There are software and hardware firewalls. A firewall is critical for businesses because they ensure that traffic is secure and safe while providing an encrypted way for employees to access the business network remotely through VPN. You should consider the size of your network, speed of your internet, number of potential VPNs, general traffic flow, and your line of business applications. You should also consider if you will have your firewall managed or unmanaged. Firewalls fail due to age, storage conditions, and management. The brand we recommend is SonicWall. For most businesses, we recommend the TZ350 and TZ400. You may also purchase a firewall through hardware as a service. Set up your firewall today. Reach out to one of our experts to learn which model suits your business's needs. Thank you very much for watching this video. At ITS, we help businesses thrive by managing their technology.